What's up, everybody out there? Today we're going to be making tequila lime chicken wings. I'm going to be going against what I usually do, and I'm going to go just with a basic Jose Cuervo. You are going to want something that has been aged in the oak, so like a reposado or an añejo. Did I say that right? It doesn't make a difference. The point is you don't want to get the silver in this particular case. And that's all we're going to need. That right there is 1/8 of a cup of tequila. We've got our lime here. Just like making the margarita, we're going to end up kind of squishing down on it to loosen up those juices. And if we're going to be doing 1/8 of a cup of tequila, then what we want to do is like double the amount of lime juice. I'm actually going to take it to what's known as a micro rasp. And this is going to be zesting it because in the skin there's a lot of oil and flavor. Okay, so I'm going to take this and try to get a little bit of that into the sauce. We can go ahead and move this over here. This is about 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 clove of garlic, and we're going to be trying to extract the flavor out of this. So we don't have to necessarily dice it up. We can just kind of slice it like this and then put it inside. I gotta sharpen this knife. And we're gonna throw this inside the liquid here. Fresh ground black pepper, and we're gonna probably end up doing about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon, something like that. This is what's known as smoked paprika. This has a little bit of a smoke flavor. So I'm going to put just a little bit in here to kind of carry that smoke flavor in. If you have something like chipotle powder, you can put chipotle in here as well. This is cumin. Put some of that inside here. I'm not going to go too crazy with the onion powder. Just a touch. Same thing about with the chili powder. I'm just going to put just a hint. You can use an agave syrup, but I'm going to use brown sugar. And I'm going to end up putting maybe a tablespoon. And you can make that sweeter if you want. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put this on the fire, and we're going to go ahead and let this simmer. We don't want to do this at a high temperature. We want to do it at a low temperature. But we want these flavors to kind of infuse. I'm also going to be making some hot wings for myself. So I might end up cutting up a few more of these than I usually do. But what we want to do is we want to come in here, this part of the chicken wing, we want to come in here and get rid of it. You can save that if you want. Right here we want to come and follow the bone here, and it'll take us right down like that, okay? See, that one went perfect. But anyway, so I'm heating oil up right now, and I'm going to be frying these exactly the way that they are. And I'm going to keep them in there for about 4 or 5 minutes, take them out, and then I'm going to let them rest for a few minutes, and I'm going to put them back in, and they're going to come out nice and crispy. And you're going to know when they're done because they won't be bubbling and frying as much, and also they're going to be a darker brown color. So our sauce is reduced, okay? At this point, you can check it for acidity. You can check it for how sweet it is. You can check it for pretty much anything you want to do, how much tequila is in there, whatever. One thing I am going to add to this after I'm done is going to be some freshly cut cilantro. But we do not want to cut that cilantro on this board or with this knife until we clean it and we sanitize it, because that's where the cross-contamination is going to come in. If you cut up the cilantro, then throw it in the sauce, then you're going to be fine, while it's cooking, because that will kill anything. But if you haven't seen my video about cross-contamination and meat, watch it. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's going to pop up right now up on the top right corner. Okay, watch that, because it's going to end up changing your perspective on the way that you should be handling stuff in your kitchen. Now you may be saying, boy, that oil's kind of dirty. It looks like that because I've been making a lot of jalapeno poppers in this today, okay? But it's not going to change the flavor of anything significantly, and if anything, it's just going to add to the flavor. In fact, if you wanted to take a jalapeno and you wanted to cut it up and dice it up and throw it inside the sauce, you could do that too. All right, so that is pretty hot, and this is going to make all sorts of commotion here. It's also going to end up cooling the oil down because these are still temperature of the refrigerator. I do not want this to boil over. You got to make sure that you don't get too hot on this because you can start a grease fire, and that would be horrible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let this go ahead and fry up for probably about 4 to 5 minutes. We're going to take them out, put them on the cooling rack, let them drain and cool off a little bit. And what's going to happen is that temperature that's on that heat that's on the inside is going to create steam. It's going to start pushing it towards the part of the outside of the chicken. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it back in the oil and do a double fry, and that's going to crisp up the skin real well. We don't need any breading. So we're going to take these out and we're going to put them on a cooling rack. And this is going to end up they're going to still keep cooking even after I take it out of the oil. It's called carryover, okay? And it's going to start building up that steam. And the outside of this right now is not going to be overly crispy, but by the time everything is said and done, this will brown up and crisp up real nice. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and put it back in. Now within about 3 minutes, these guys are going to be browned up and they're going to be crispy. So we've got our tequila lime sauce. You don't want to put the things like paprika inside there. You don't have to. If you don't want to put the chili powder, if you want to keep everything looking like it's green, you can. It's not a big deal. I just do it because it adds more complex flavors. So when people are tasting it, they don't know how to interpret it. They're like, what is this? So here's my cilantro, which is a nice little touch, and it adds so much scent to this. And just because I'm a heavy tipper, let's put a little bit of green onion on here too. And there you go, guys. Tequila lime chicken wings. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Check out my other videos, and until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later.